Hi. I'm still trying various forms of careers for my later years that would be a good fit for me based on, win-win scenarios. And I'm watching a BBC report about UK volunteers going to fight in Ukraine, and man, it's sad. And you know what's sad is not, like, that they died and or that they're still alive, but their families have a hard time kind of knowing where they are, what's going to happen. But mostly their families are wondering why they're doing this, because some of them is like they just say last minute and drive me to the airport. And the ones that died, it's like you don't know if this father of two, because there's many like that, like to be considered a hero, you don't even know if this guy made sure his papers were in order, that somebody would be a better dad to the kids, than he was after he's dead somewhere. And if the insurance companies, if he has any life insurance on his life, would cover this. Might not cover fighting for somebody else's army. Might be gray matter with the NATO alliance for the insurance companies. And then their families are saying in this documentary report thing, like, well, he did what he wanted to do and died a hero, but we won't have my brother back, or whatever it is. It's like the question should be, why did these people leave? Don't they know they have a family? And the family seem like they love this person and be happy to have him around. So right there, they're ahead of me. But also, like dependent kids. And so the question should be like whether this person prepared for the eventuality of their death as the father of family or not. Left letters to everybody, whatever it is. Whether they were able to reference the outside world before being labeled a hero for dying somewhere by not being a hero where he came from. By not taking care of his family or providing responses or answers why he was doing this. But why aren't the families not asking, wow, what signs did we miss? Because we did not expect this from somebody we thought we knew. It's pretty sad. And you also wonder, like why people would do this, abandon their families when there's really no apparent risk at this time, or even ever in this modern age that, that Russia would want to invade all of Europe. That's just ridiculous thinking this. The chances that would be a path of future history is pretty much believing, that when the magnetic poles shift, the Earth becomes flat, then spherical, flat, then spherical. It's as ridiculous as believing this at this point. If if you follow history, not through the BBC, documentaries, but other sources, it's kind of ridiculous thinking this. But let's say I would want to go fight, and my reasons would be, oh, suddenly I'm suspending my values of nonviolence to go kill strangers who might have families who might not even want to be there really, or who are confused or should have gotten counseling where they came from or in those countries. Because, whoever I'm fighting with or against would be victims just by being soldiers, really. I would say the majority. Because, their elites or leaders over time and right now are failing them. So, the victims are the ones that die and the ones that don't die, really. I wouldn't say either of them are heroes. But if I'm the kind of guy that would stand up more for the underdogs, the ones that are being bullied or forced to do things or being kind of the worst treated. And if I was going to do that, objectively speaking, shouldn't I go support the Russian army? And of course, I wouldn't want to for, many reasons, that I could name in another video if somebody asks for a comment on this. But really, it's many of the Russian soldiers who are really victims even before they get there, because they're either coming out of jail and they have no chance of surviving this because they're being put in very dangerous situations, because Russian leaders really care about Russian people that may or may not have been guilty of things. But even so, even if they're guilty, to do this, it's pretty nuts. and for the rest of the culture to allow this, right? Military personnel to allow this. So again, pretty sure I wouldn't meet my first Homo sapien if I went to volunteer there. But the thing is I don't want to do this. I don't mind dying, but I definitely don't want to die a redneck, stupid guy who's labeled a hero later, but really deep down I know I was a redneck, stupid guy. I've been saying all the opposite, and then suddenly I decide, screw it, I want to go like vent some frustrations or escape the problem solving I need to do in my life, and I'll go do this. I'd be dying my last few breaths. Oh my God, I was a sellout at biblical proportions if this happened to me, because I'd be like, oh my God, I've stated so many claims in the past, and here I am, dying as a hypocrite for bad people, fighting with bad people against bad people, engaging in behaviors that are inhuman. So do you really think that I'm going to do this? And if I did, that, I wouldn't turn in my grave if you called me a hero?